Welcome to another episode of the Frugal Film Project, where each month I shoot a roll of $5.39 Arista EDU 400 film with my Minolta Maxxum HTSi Plus, and then post my results to the Frugal Film Project 23's Facebook page. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you already know I shoot most of my rolls in small towns in and around Central Ohio, but not this time. For the month of June, I decided to shoot my roll on a whirlwind trip to Washington, D.C. I had a window of 5 hours from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, June 28th to shoot this roll, and I went full tourist mode. Well, sort of. You see, I did take in as many memorials and monuments as I could. I ended up walking over 8 miles that day. And I did take some standard snapshot-y tourist shots. But I also tried to get a little artsy-fartsy and shoot some different perspectives you might not always see, and that's what I'd like to share with you now. Again, all the images you're about to see were shot on Arista EDU Ultra 400 film in my Minolta Maxxum HTSi Plus with a 50mm f1.7 lens. I developed the negatives in Kodak HC110 Dilution B, and then scanned the images with my Epson V550 using Epson Scan 2 software. Stick around after the images and I'll let you know the main reason for this quick trip to DC, and I'll share with you the strange circumstances that led me to DC on my most recent visit, which was exactly 40 years ago. So the main reason we rolled into DC at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday the 27th was to see Herbie Hancock at the Kennedy Center at 8 o'clock that night. The concert was great. Terrence Blanchard was sitting in on trumpet. Herbie Hancock is 83 years old, but he was running around that stage like a man half his age. The musicianship was great. We had an awesome time. Washington, D.C. is about a 7-hour drive from where I live in Ohio, so we set ourselves a deadline of 1 p.m. the next day to leave D.C. so we could get home in a reasonable hour. We were up and at 'em at 8 a.m. the next morning, and we took full advantage of that 5-hour window. One thing we didn't get to do this time was see all the Smithsonian museums, which are free and incredible. I got to see those museums on my last visit to DC, which was 40 years ago, in 1983. Now, the reason I got to go to the Capitol in '83 was because I was actually in the National Spelling Bee. So before I was a film and camera nerd, I was just a plain old regular nerd. Now, being in the National Spelling Bee did have its perks. All the spellers got a private reception with President Reagan in the Rose Garden. I got to meet my Representative John Seiberling and my Senator Howard Metzenbaum. I didn't get to meet Ohio's other senator because he was traveling around the country putting out feelers for a potential 1984 presidential run. That man was astronaut, Colonel, Senator John Glenn. I didn't get to meet him, but his staff did let me sit in his chair. I may not be the most interesting man in the world, but I've done some stuff and I've seen some things. If you want to check out more of my Frugal Film Project adventures, make sure you click on the playlist popping up on the screen now. Until next time, do some good, have some fun, and shoot some film!